This is my case study on internet use violations, EDL 850 school law for Lindsay Sellers. The first category is problem identification and analysis. So what do we know? We know that Slattery Steno High School is a rather good school. It's had good reviews for multiple years, and the principal there is Dr. Smith. The school is located in an affluent community with students having good access to resources, one of those resources being the latest technology. There's an incident with a teacher involved whose name is Miss Tate. She's in her second year teaching at Slattery Steno. Miss Tate has received an email over a break with some information that is concerning. Some inappropriate things were said about her. Miss Tate immediately did contact her principal to notify him of the website and gave him the information as to what was going on. Miss Tate feels and has perceived that the website and comments are threatening to her. And we also know that there's probably more information needed on who may be responsible for some of the comments and creating the site. So what do we need to know? There's obviously still a lot of questions in this case. And so who is the person or persons behind creating the Facebook page? Who has said some of the inappropriate things or commented inappropriate things on the Facebook page? And then do we know if the district technology assistant can be helpful in identifying who maybe has created the site or who has possibly made inappropriate comments on the site? And then do any discipline actions need to be taken? And if so, what are those? And then also, have any laws been broken? And if so, does law enforcement need to be notified? So problem identification. There has been a website created that has posts from unidentified people. The comments are suggestive, critical, and offensive towards Miss Tate, who is a second-year teacher at Slattery Steno High School. And so clearly we would like the site to be taken down, for things to be removed, and if discipline or law enforcement need to be enforced, what does that look like? So category 2, a proposed plan of actions with appropriate strategies for implementation. So a plan of action. I think as the school leader and administrator, the first thing would probably be to make sure and notify the district office or superintendent as appropriate for that district so that they know that there's an incident going on involving a staff member and possibly students. And then the need to conduct a thorough investigation. I think that needs to involve the technology department with their assistance in was this created during school? Was this created over the long weekend break? Can students be identified? And what students need to maybe be interviewed? Ms. Tate did have an idea of who some of those students could be. So what does that investigation need to look like? And then continuing to work with Ms. Tate to gather information and to support her as well. Another thing would be that would need to happen that if students are questioned, that parents would need to be notified. Continuing to provide support and mentoring or professional development for Ms. Tate, not only for where she is mentally and emotionally right now, but also what else can be done to help support her as a teacher at the school. And then are there any internet and technology education needs that might need to be put in place for the entire student body if these are some of the concerns that Slattery Steno is seeing with their students? So implementation for all of those, for that action steps, obviously a call to the district office, hopefully involving some assistant principals with the investigation of the students, maybe having them help with contacting the technology department, working with students and parents if discipline needs to be taken or any actions that way. Students and parents definitely would need to be notified and worked with. Law enforcement may need to be involved. So have any laws been broken? Are some of the things that are offensive at the point where law enforcement would need to be involved? And then also providing that professional development for the entire staff. Does the staff know the policy and procedures? Do they need to be updated on any policies and procedures so that they remain safe and students remain safe with using technology. And then once again, the safety and appropriateness of using technology as far as educating the entire student body. So category 3 resolved the issues based on the trying to promote the success of all students. So what is best for all students? So we know that there's a student population at Slattery-Steno High School that are from affluent families and therefore have access to probably the newest and greatest technology. So with some of the findings in the case, students may need some guidance on the appropriate use of technology. So they may need some help with understanding their responsibility of using that technology appropriately. Parents may need some help. So parents might need some guidance on what they need to be looking for, what kind of apps or what kind of newest and greatest things students are using as far as cell phones or chats or technology that they have access to. And basically the school needs to ensure that all students are getting the proper information on their internet safety policies and procedures. And does that need to be looked at, or does that need to be changed or updated so that students understand that there are certain things that are not appropriate when using their technology at home and school? So problem and resolution based on facts of the case. So the Facebook page was created. So a solution would be that Facebook page needs to be removed. However, that needs to happen whether the students remove it, if they are responsible, or if Facebook is contacted for it to be removed. The investigation proves that a student or students have broke school district or technology rules. If that's what the investigation proves, then proper discipline procedures need to be put into place. If the investigation with the technology resulted in any broken laws, a report obviously needs to be made to law enforcement. And then probably some support for Ms. Tate. It appears that she's distraught and worried about her personal safety. So what kind of support and mentoring need to be put in place for her as well? So category 4, what are you thinking, feeling, and valuing as far as this case? And I think this would be a tough one because there's multiple layers with the technology department as well as working with the students and families. So I think that part of that results in feeling overwhelmed with the amount of information that would need to be looked at. For me personally, making sure that you're covering all of your bases and that it's fair for everyone involved. Feeling bad that you have a staff member that's been felt as though she's been attacked and is upset. Feeling overwhelmed with students who are posting inappropriate things or that those kinds of things are being said about a staff member. And then valuing the need for everyone involved to feel understood, heard, and safe, and valuing the need for safety for all staff and students. So unresolved issues that still may need to be looked at, or what are the discipline actions? What support does this second-year teacher still need? Is that mentoring? Is that counseling? What kind of supports need to be put in place for Ms. Tate? And then what supports need to be put in place for key stakeholders within the school? So that would include students. What kind of training do they need? What are they missing? Faculty and staff, do they need to be updated on policies? Are they aware of the policies? What training do they need? Where are the gaps of parent understanding? And then are there any issues that need to be taken to the community as a whole for key community stakeholders as well? So what is the community maybe needing? Is there a parent night? Is there a community night where some of the newest and greatest technology and things like that are explained and understanding is created that way? So I'll end with a quote. Every time there's a new tool, whether it's the internet or cell phones or anything else, all these things can be used for good or evil. Technology is neutral. It depends on how it is used. And I think that fit this case well with making sure that you would ensure that staff, students, parents, and community are all using technology appropriately.